Colt Gray's case is one of the most chilling examples of how a combination of negligence, access to firearms, and ignored warning signs can lead to unimaginable tragedy. On September 4th, 2024, Colt, a 14-year-old sophomore at Appalachee High School in Georgia, walked into his school armed with an AR-style rifle and opened fire, killing 2 students and 2 teachers. The shooting sent shockwaves through the community and reignited debates about gun control, parental responsibility, and school safety. The day began like any other Appalachee High School. Students were moving between classes, teachers were preparing their lessons, and the hallways buzzed with the usual chatter of teenagers. But at 12:50 p.m., everything changed. Colt, who had hidden the rifle in his backpack, emerged from a bathroom and began firing indiscriminately in the hallway. Chaos erupted as students and staff scrambled for safety, some fleeing to the football field while others barricaded themselves in classrooms. By the time the shooting stopped, 4 people lay dead and several others were injured. Colt, realizing he was surrounded by police, surrendered without resistance. The aftermath of the shooting was devastating. The community was left in shock, struggling to comprehend how a 14-year-old could carry out such a horrific act. Questions immediately arose about how Colt had obtained the weapon. Investigators soon discovered that the AR-style rifle used in the shooting had been a Christmas gift from his father, Colt Gray. This revelation sparked outrage and led to intense scrutiny of Colt's family. How could a parent give a teenager such a deadly weapon? And why were there no safeguards in place to prevent this tragedy? As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that there had been numerous warning signs leading up to the shooting. A year earlier, in 2023, the FBI had received tips that Colt had been making threats on Discord, a popular online messaging platform. In these messages, Colt had hinted at planning a school shooting. When questioned by authorities, Colt denied the allegations, and his father assured investigators that the family's firearms were securely locked away, with no access granted to Colt.
Say something about school shooting?
Never, I just told him, I don't know what. Maybe they misheard somebody else. I would never say I would threaten.
You never ever said.
Without concrete evidence linking Colt directly to the threats, the investigation was dropped and no further action was taken. However, the signs of trouble did not end there. In the months leading up to the shooting, Colt's behavior had become increasingly concerning. His parents had recently separated, and he was reportedly being bullied at school. His mother, Colt Gray, had noticed a significant change in her son's demeanor and had even reached out to the school 6 days before the shooting, hoping to get Colt admitted to a treatment facility. Colt had agreed to seek help, but the process was not fast enough to prevent the tragedy. On the morning of the shooting, Colt sent 2 chilling text messages, one to his mother saying, "I'm sorry, Mom," and another to his father, telling him, "You're not to blame for this." His mother, terrified by the messages, immediately called the school, but by then, it was too late. The shooting had already begun. In the days that followed, Colt Gray expressed her disbelief and heartbreak, describing how she had collapsed to the ground and screamed when she first heard about the shooting, knowing deep down that her son was responsible. The legal aftermath of the shooting was complex. Colt was charged with 4 counts of felony murder and faced life in prison. Because he was a juvenile, he was not eligible for the death penalty. His father, Colt Gray, was also arrested and charged with second-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and cruelty to children for allowing his son access to a firearm. The case against Colt raised important questions about parental responsibility and the consequences of giving minors access to deadly weapons. The community was left grappling with grief and anger. Many wondered if the tragedy could have been prevented if the warning signs had been taken more seriously. The scars left by the Appalachee High School shooting will remain with the community for years to come, a somber reminder of the cost of inaction